All right, so for food, I could probably pick some up on Saturday or Sunday. I can text you sometimes if either of those days work for you. Um, and for answering your kennel question, there's the crate. Mako, kennel, wrong way. Yes. So she will go in her crate and she will relax, but I kind of have been replacing some of that crate time that you do with her throughout the day with some mat time, being on the raised dog bed. So if she drops her head, I'm going to bring her a treat because it's part of the relaxation protocol. Yes. So I've been switching it out for nap time. So like today she was in the office while my husband worked on the computer for about 2 hours and practiced staying on her mat the whole time. By mat I mean her raised dog bed. And then Sunday I did paperwork for like 3 hours and she stayed on her dog bed the whole time. Today when our son's speech therapist came, she stayed on her dog bed for that. And the idea is that she start to have a little bit, she can be closer to you on the dog bed, but also not in your way, also relaxing. Yes. Release. I think that some of the hyperness, kennel, so when dogs have a little bit of anxiety, yes, they can seem like they have a lot more energy than they actually do, but it's more or less nervous energy. So some owners, when they have anxious dogs, they try to exercise that anxiety away. And exercise is important, and I think that she could thrive with some more exercise. I don't know what you guys' exercise routine is now, but I think if you could get like 30 minutes of walking twice a day, if you're not already doing that, in addition to her treadmilling, and maybe going off leash 2 or 3 times a week to really run for a good hour or so would be very appropriate. You're not going to ever exercise her to a point where she relaxes because it's anxiety. It's not excess energy. Just for fitness, it's good for her to get that off-leash running time in. But I think you'll notice that when you get her on the appropriate meds, that she is much calmer and more relaxed on less exercise. We do a lot of exercise at our house, but it's more for training opportunities. So the walk is more than exercise. It's more about having a lot of training on leash walking. And the off-leash hike is more about making sure we can recall them away from birds and squirrels. So the other thing that I think would be helpful, I know you do tons of enrichment stuff with her as far as using her meals for enrichment, but I would consider doing Kongs, stuffed Kongs, if you haven't already. She wants to play with my cat so bad. Yes. So stuffed and frozen Kongs can be a really nice enrichment idea for her. So if you don't have any, I would get 2 or 3 rubber Kongs and you'd stuff them with her food and then freeze it. And then for Dobies, their mouths open up so big, I tend to go a size over their weight category. just to be on the safe side. Good girl. But yeah, that's where we're at on crating. And then I'd like to see how when she drops her chin, I'm going to put that on Q2. So you can, if you decide to use her as a service dog, depending on what your needs are, we could turn that into a task down the road. I'm waiting for her to drop her chin again. The cat is eating from her treat bowl, so. I kind of assumed that you had already, yes, worked on some of the kennel training because she picked up on it so quick. And I was like, she probably tried to do this already and was trying to use it to address the barking in the crate. I don't know. I'd like to hear if you had already done some of this already or not. Yes. Girl, I'm gonna do one more chin down with her. Yes. She looks pretty cute when she drops her head like that. Yes. It's important that you don't always mark it the second she does it, because then you might have dogs that pick up their head and drop it, pick up their head and drop it, trying to say like, hey, go ahead and reward me. We really want to focus on that, building the duration, building the calmness. When we put her on her mat now, or I'm saying mat, but it's really the raised dog bed, she pretty much falls asleep every time. I think that goes back to her having anxiety. She doesn't know how to calm herself down. So when we put her in a place where she's using her self-control to be calm, she's like a toddler fighting sleep. She just passes right out. So she was snoring during speech class today. It was pretty cute. Feel free to reach out with any other questions. Sorry this video is getting to you late today.